Welcome, guys. I just want to run through some things here as a tattoo artist, and for you guys out there that feel that you are stuck. And by stuck, I mean early in your career, or maybe like 2 or 3 years into your career, you're probably gonna eventually feel that you're getting stuck. And you can be stuck in multiple ways. It could be you feel that you're not evolving as a tattoo artist and also as an artist. It could also be you feel like you can have that feeling that you're tattooing the same clients and you're just doing the same thing over and over and over again, and you want to get that nice um, you want to get that other kind of fun from doing it, and you want to see a little bit more of that lifestyle. And I'm gonna run you guys through some things that I went through and also how you can accomplish it. And yeah, let's start with it. Being stuck, I felt it a lot of times. I felt that I was tattooing, like I said earlier, the same clients. I was doing the same kind of tattoos at the same spot, and I just felt that I wasn't really getting out there. And this was like in the beginning with social media as well, when Instagram was new. I didn't really know how to like get out there basically. But what I started doing basically, if we run over here to world class tattoo artist lifestyle, a lot of things I did was first of all I had to improve me as an artist, like do better tattoos and try new things and always challenge myself to do better and be more creative in so many different ways. And when I started being more creative and designing new stuff, and like I dared myself to do bigger things, bigger tattoos, it also got an attraction from a lot of different people around the world that made me really get out there and experience a lot of new things that I would never in my life thought it was possible. Uh, I did put out some pictures here where you can see like uh, traveling around the world, uh, driving nice cars, as well as doing sleeves, riding private jets, like you name it, skiing trips, tattooing Post Malone, Lewis Hamilton, like you name it. And I'm not saying that's everybody's goal. I'm just saying that it was fun getting out there so I could experience that and get to those places. Because I don't actually think I would get there with just being a regular tattoo artist and not to dare myself do those things. I do remember early that when I did start tattooing celebrities, a lot of other tattoo artists would start making fun of me because they thought that it was like silly and I thought I was somebody. But the fact of the mac the mat like the fact the matter of the fact is I was starting to be somebody, and not only perfecting my line of work and my line of, and my art, also being one of the one percenters in the world. I mean, when I started seeing really big tattoo artists, seeing my stories and things like that, at least I got their attraction. At least I got their attention. Sorry, and that's where I felt that. Well, I mean, there's a lot of tattoo artists out there, and a lot of people don't know them. But if you get there where you start seeing big names starting to watch your stories, hey, I mean, at least you did something good. So let's start by going down here. Mindset. This is funny because this is actually a picture of me in Las Vegas, friend's house. Jesse Waits, you guys probably know who it is. He was in the Avicii documentary, a really good friend of Avicii. Uh, and The first thing I could say is like reprogram your brain. And I speak about this often. And reprogramming your brain means that you have to eventually believe that you're already there, and you have to like, accept that it's a long journey in so many different ways, depending on where you want to get, where you want to go, and your end goal, and where you see yourself in 10 years or 15 years, depending on how long you want to do it. Um, and also, what do you want to sacrifice? And sacrificing things can mean a lot of things. In my case, it was I did had to I started tattooing when I was like 16. I started tattooing at home. I didn't have time for any parties. I didn't have time for girls. I didn't have time for any of that, or like hanging out with friends, barely. And that was my sacrifice. And also, I had to provide for my parents because I did live with my parents, and I had to like fill the fridge, if you know what I mean, with food. And I had to help because my father was injured from war, and my mother, she was uh, she was like studying, trying to learn Swedish. So I had to like, well, provide and help my family basically. So I did sacrifice a lot of time doing that, but I did what I loved, and that was tattooing and creating and designing. I've done that my whole life. I've been designing stuff, painting stuff, and like you name it. And and sacrifice, it could be so many things. I mean, everybody has their own thing they can sacrifice. Like sometimes there are some stuff that you have to sacrifice that you love the most in order for the greater good, obviously. And I feel that whatever you sacrifice is really important that you sacrifice the right thing. Obviously, like you don't want to sacrifice your family, obviously, but you do want to sacrifice things that can wait, uh, especially parties, alcohol, whatever that you like doing the most. But just spending your time and in the right way and not wasting it. Another thing is law of attraction. I mean, you really, really have to believe that you are the best, and you have to believe that you're gonna be the best in order to be like in order to get there. I don't know if you guys have seen the documentary. It's called The Secret. The Secret is a really good documentary because that really, really, really explains law of attraction. Law of attraction is, let's say if I paint you up a car here, right? Your car is going, you're stuck in a traffic jam. If you're thinking that you're gonna come late, that will actually enhance you coming late. And they explain this in the documentary. I really, really advise you guys to see that documentary because that explains it a lot. It could be everything. If you're thinking, I think it's called the Murphy's Law. If you're constantly worrying about something, it might happen. But law of attraction has a lot to do with that. So I really would appreciate you guys if you watch that documentary. It explains a lot. Uh, if you're out like early in your, if you're at the early stages of your career and you want to get somewhere. So law of attraction is really, really good to know because it's kind of like believing in yourself, but also believing in the process, but also believing that you will get there. You just have to get there. And also like what that is, with law of attraction always come like you have to be the best version of yourself. Be the better version that you were yesterday and try to become a better version the next day. And self improvement, I would say. A lot of self improvement. It could be everything from waking up in the morning, drinking a glass of water, just improve your daily routines and improve yourself and turn down things that are not good for you and try to like constantly slowly and steady like evolve and like just do things better, treat people more kindly and talk with people with more respect, and you will get respected. And for those people that don't want to have that respect exchange, you don't need them in your life either. You don't want to be licking ass. And then we're gonna move over to how to think creatively. Um, Being creative, you can be creative in a lot of different ways. You can be creative and when it comes to designing, you can be creative and I mean, when I started, like, I mean, I think I would say like after 5 years, when I got stuck, I started to realize that traveling and tattooing abroad and tattooing in different countries actually evolved my art because I wanted to perform better. And for some strange reason, when I did travel to different countries, I became more creative. It was like a switch that happened that wanted me, my brain wanted me to do better. And each and every country I went to and guest spotted and tattooed at, it was just like my brain was forcing me to become a better artist. It could be, it had a lot to do with different people around the world are have different thoughts and different ideas. I mean, if you tattoo here in Sweden, you might come across a lot of people that want Viking tattoos or Roman or Greek, but people in other countries where, let's say, um, maybe drugs are legal. I'm not saying drugs are is good, but let's say like psychedelics and things like that. Those kind of people, they want more like freaky shit, and that freaky shit can be really interesting when it comes to tattooing. Like for instance, I did psychedelic sleeve. I never done that before, but it was so funny because there were so many details and there was so much things going on, and he wanted to look like he was in a dream and he saw those things. So I had to adapt myself to get in his head in order to bring out that design. And yeah, I just think that yeah, you more the more you travel, the more creative you get, and the more ideas you get from different kind of people. And that brings you ultimately to how people recognize your art. How people recognize your art can be a lot of things. It could be you have your own niche, or you don't have to write your name underneath it for people to know, oh, I know who's done that. I know a lot of tattoo artists out there where I can just, if I go on Pinterest, I can just see a lot of art out there where I actually know, oh, I know exactly who done that. One of those artists is Yun Cha. I think he did Avicii's arm. He did tattoo The Rock, and then you have Ruben. He's called Ruben Tattooer, another favorite of mine. He does this like Baroque, Renaissance, like the shit you see back here. And immediately when I see his tattoos, I know he's done it, even though his name is not underneath the picture, because sometimes Google and Pinterest steal other tattoo artists' pictures and they put them out there and write like 25 cool ideas for tattoos. But like when I see that, I immediately know who's done it, and that's a really cool thing because that means that you really like you have your niche, and it is your art. It's authentic. And if we go down here to design, now designing stuff can be, there's no limits. You can do whatever you want, but you have to have that balance, yin yang, like that. You have to have your balance, and having a balance in a sleeve is knowing when, or a leg sleeve or a back piece, like whatever body part you want to tattoo. Uh, it's about the balance. You don't want to have too much going on, and you don't want to have too little going on. That's a gut feeling you're gonna get like along the way. You're just gonna know in the end like what is gonna make the sleeve look right and what looks wrong. You have to take a glance, like you have to take a look at it and see for yourself, and actually just go through it in your head and sleep on it. Maybe sometimes you have to make a design, and then maybe you'll like it right away when you see it, but let it sink in a little bit, and you'll realize pretty quick that there's a lot of things you can change and add to it that's gonna make it better. So don't do your design like too late until you're gonna tattoo your client. Make sure you do it like a little bit in advance so you can really take a good look at it and think about it, and maybe, like I said, sleep on it until you. And if you still feel the same after a week or 2 weeks, then go for it. But when you create a design and you feel like you're genuinely happy about it, and you get that nice energy from seeing it, and you know it's gonna turn out good, that's when you know you're gonna go with it. And you can almost, because sometimes when I do it, I can already see like people's comments that they're gonna like it, because when I put it out there, like I do want people to enjoy my art and enjoy like whatever design I did. So it's really important for me to know like, oh, well, what's gonna be people's reaction also, because I want the good feedback. I want people um, to be like, uh, how can I say this? um, inspired by whatever I put out there. Stencil can be a lot of things. It could be a lot of people use different stuff. I do use Rapid Resizer. I really like that website. It does the stencil automatically for me. But in the beginning, I did draw it up by hand. It's really good doing that way too. But if you fuck it up, you have to draw it up again. So, um, but if you do it on the iPad, if you use Procreate, you can actually draw the lines, everything you like, do it by hand, and if you put it on the skin and it doesn't, like if you put it wrong or some way something happens, maybe your stencil fluid doesn't get in some places and it doesn't trace the way you want it, you can always just like erase it and print it out again because you have it on your iPad. You just create different layers on Procreate. I'm sure you guys know how Procreate works, and if you don't, I can put out a tutorial for that also. Technique and art. So it's there's a lot of techniques when you're tattooing you can use, and a lot of people use different techniques. That's why it's really really good to if you get a chance to guest spot at different shops, to like don't be afraid to ask questions and don't be afraid to look at tattoo artists if you're open to. I mean, I know some tattoo artists out there might be like a little bit gatekeeping their techniques and things like that. But if you get a chance to look at how other tattoo artists work and their techniques, it will benefit you in the long run. Or right at the moment, you every scientist is smart, but they do learn new things from each other all the time. And I do like to see, I do like to, I can say that a lot of tattoo artists, we do like a lot of artists, painters, and whatnot. We all have our ideas and the way we do stuff, and that's why it's really good to come together and discuss those things so we can move forward. When it comes to taking pictures of your tattoos, you want to justify, because I know sometimes when we look at a tattoo, we with the naked eye, we do enjoy it. It looks good, but sometimes when you take a picture of it, it looks terrible because the camera doesn't really justify what it actually looks like. And there's a lot of different things you can use that makes it look more like it would look in real life. Um, I came across a few years ago a polarization filter, which takes away the um, when the light bounces down on the arm and the flashes up, so you can't actually see what's going on. Polarization filter actually takes that away. That shining part, like let's say if you do a tattoo on the shoulder and all the way down to your elbow, if your light source hits the shoulder, it's gonna be like a glare into the camera, and it's gonna be a glare on the top of the shoulder, and that's gonna like you won't be able to see what's going on there. But a polarization filter takes that away. But you have to combine that with a light source that has the polarization filter as well, because with those two combined, it would immediately take that away, so you can see the tattoo clear and what it actually looks like. So it doesn't, so you don't like, so you have whatever you're seeing, whatever you're observing, you get the full picture of it. And you can use different presets. Me personally, I use some presets when I do it on Lightroom. I do take away the redness a little bit, and I go to color. I take it down the saturation a little bit and things like that, just to make it more. So let's say I did a forearm and the upper arm is healed. Obviously, the forearm is going to be a little bit more red than the upper arm. So what I do is just take down the redness a little bit, just to make it look a little bit more even. That's the things I can do. And I wrote down here, don't overdo it. Like, don't exaggerate with putting filters on top of filters and make it look unrealistic. At the end of the day, a really good like a client that got a lot of tattoos, they're gonna know what's what. So don't exaggerate when it comes to filters. Don't put on too much. Just take away down the redness a little bit. You can make the black a little bit more black, just make it more soothing for the eye. Now, this is my favorite part: clients, how to communicate with people. I just hope you guys out there, like when you communicate with clients, you do it the right way. Because I have a really bad experience when it comes to early in my days when I started tattooing, when I went to other tattoo artists to get tattoos in order to learn. Because nobody would take me in as an apprentice back in the days for reasons that are heartbreaking. But that was that. But let's get back to this. Um, how to communicate? I would say how to communicate has a lot of things to do with your energy. Let's say I have a consultation, and the consultation comes, the client comes in here, and I'm gonna have the consultation. What I do is I greet him like really really properly. I'm always happy when he comes in here. I try to keep that energy high. I try to always be on my A game. I don't let any bullshit from outside the shop come in and ruin my day. I always make sure that the client is happy. I'm really energetic, almost like a nerd. I'm like whatever the client wants to have. Let's say he wants like a Assassin's Creed arm or like a gaming arm or anything like similar to what I'm working with or to my knowledge. I make sure that when I speak about it with my client, I'm like, oh, and then we can do this, and then we can put that. Like it's a lot of enthusiasm behind it, and that's also how you sell high ticket. And to have a high income is always about. I mean, you're an artist. You're probably let's say if you're 15 years into your career, there's nothing wrong with having a high income and getting like and having a high rate because you did put 15 years of your life into this. So there's nothing wrong with like gaining a lot of money from it because you're actually like being a tattoo artist is either make it or break it. Either you spend 15 years of your life doing something and hope to like make a living out of it, or you don't. It's a really like getting into the tattoo industry is if you do it wrong, you might get for like people don't still won't know who you are after a few years. And I mean, it's all about how you move and how you talk to people and being that special guy. You don't wanna be that bunker tattoo artist sitting in a basement and doing tattoos and being grumpy and pissed all the time and acting like this fucking macho hard guy. And like you don't want to be that guy. You want to be a guy that are really welcoming. You want to understand people. You want to know. You want to consider that some of those clients maybe they never got a tattoo before. They're a little bit nervous. They never went to a shop before, and just like be treat every client like it's your first client ever. Try to be respectful and show them that their tattoo matters, even if it's just a little small script, because it might not be a back piece that is a big project for you, but it would mean a lot to them and to or I mean it does mean a lot to them because it's their first tattoo. They've probably been nervous for it for like a month or 2 months, depending on how long they had to wait to get their appointment. And just consider that and try to be respectful and respect them for the small tattoo they want to do because it's a big deal to them, even if it's not a big deal to you. And always to have a high income, make sure you use the right marketing program to gather all your clients in one spot. So you don't have to go to Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, and God knows what platforms you use. Just make sure that you always have like something that gathers everything, like every client in one platform, so you can contact them there. So you don't have to like sometimes miss some clients that wrote to you somewhere. It just gets too confusing. And yeah, never mention prices online. Always aim for an in-person consult. I know there's a lot of clients out there. They want you to give them a rate immediately on Instagram and things like that, but never do that. Give them a chance to let you talk about your art and what you can do for them before we put out a price or a rate. Because at the end of the day, it's not about if somebody really wants a tattoo and they really want you to do it, you're gonna notice. But make sure, try to get them into the shop, even for a conversation, even for a coffee, because you never know what it might lead up to. If they like you as a person and you're good at selling and you're good at like actually, you know what you can do for them, and you know that you can. take their ideas and make them a reality, and that you actually also understand them, the price won't matter. It won't, because people want what they can't have. So keep that in mind. The temple. Well, you can see here I'm looking really shredded. Um, this is not about looking good on Instagram. This is actually about the temple. It's about strengthening your whole body. Because if you're gonna be sitting down and tattooing for a lot of hours, it's gonna take a toll on your body, and you wanna be at the gym working those muscles. You wanna move a lot. You wanna try to train every muscle in your goddamn body you can. Because sitting for that many hours and tattooing for that many hours, you wanna make sure that you do good in the gym. Strengthen your back, strengthen your neck, strengthen your traps, your shoulders, your arms, your core, like everything. This has a lot to do with tattooing for a lot of hours. You want to have that strength in your body. You want to make sure that um, your body doesn't take damage from sitting and tattooing for hours and hours. Not only that, it's longevity. I mean, you want to be tattooing for a long time. If you see like a future in this, you want to make sure that it's going to last forever, or for as long as it can. And so, like stretching, it could be, especially stretching your muscles. That's really important. Stretching your neck, stretching your shoulders, like your chest, your abs, like your everything. Just take care of your temple, because and even what you put inside your temple. And in my course, I do show a lot of exercises for the back that is really really good to work those inner muscles and outer muscles. And also, like, whatever you eat, don't eat shitty food, because like you gotta keep in mind, if you have a long session and if you eat junk food, you're gonna crash. And crashing also means losing concentration. You don't want to lose your concentration. Make sure you have your lunch boxes, and make sure you eat at the right times, and make sure that that food is healthy, and don't forget your vitamins. Now, I know there's a lot of people out there that think that vitamins don't do shit. Trust me, they do a lot of things. So make sure to stay healthy, and just make sure you eat the right food that doesn't make you crash, and um, and also to be on your A game. I mean, to be like awake and aware. That's really important. But for exercises, your inner back and your shoulders, like you basically, it is like you have to train your whole body, but try to focus a lot on your neck and your back and your middle back, and the middle section of the back, your your shoulders and your core, because you're gonna be sitting up and tattooing, so you want to keep that. You want to be like strong and steady. You don't want to. You just want to strengthen that whole your core and your back, because that's, from what I've seen, a lot of tattoo artists been taking a hit because they don't have a strong body. They usually junk food and drink beer at weekends or even regular days, and blood sugar is high, and just keep that in mind. That is actually the workout part is something that will benefit you in the long run. I promise you that. Studio environment. My studio environment, as you can see here in the picture, I did design my studio, so I wanted the shop to represent me as a person. I'm a Catholic Christian, and I want to show people. It's like your room when you were a kid. You did have some posters on the wall. You did have some things you liked, maybe a skateboard in your room. When you walked into your room, it did represent you as a person, and it represents like whatever you like, right? And if I'm doing like Renaissance art, and I'm doing statues, and I'm doing everything around that, I also want my shop to look that way, because I want people to see that I do love this, and I'm really really interested in this. And like I said earlier, that nerd. I am that nerd. I really like history. I like everything when it comes to it. So I designed my shop representing me. Um, and also that puts like a little bit, it puts a lot of integrity in yourself. So that is really really important as well, for me at least, and it should be for you too. Because when you have a client walking in, and let's say you do Viking tattoos, and that's your specialty, and that's what you really really like, maybe your shop should look a little bit more along, should look like that, you know, because that's gonna make people feel that, yeah, he like this is his thing. He really really likes this. It is gonna, people gonna respect you more. Attract the right clients. This could be, you know, maybe you're gonna come across some clients that maybe are not meant for you, and that's okay. There's a lot of clients out there that are seeking their kind of tattoo artist, uh, that you can work with and that you're gonna sit for multiple hours with. So just make sure that those clients also, like you're gonna make sure that you can sit with those clients on your consultation. You're gonna be you're gonna be noticing a lot of things. That is this a guy I can, like, you don't have to say it to them, but in your head you're gonna be thinking like, is this, can I work with this guy? Can I work with him? Uh, is this a guy that I will enjoy working with? And a lot of, you're gonna have a lot of introverted clients that you're gonna stumble upon across, and maybe these are not for you. Maybe you're a really talkative person, and maybe some people that are introverted, you can convert them to be an extroverted, like by talking with them, making some jokes on your own behalf, just to make them laugh. Be that funny guy. Make sure that they feel like welcome, and maybe that could change them. I mean, I did change a lot of people that came in here that was a little bit quiet. I just make jokes, and I'm not that serious tattoo artist. It's gotta be quiet and grumpy, like I said earlier. I just showed them like a funny side, that tattoo shops are not supposed to be like dark and dull and grumpy. And you know, you can change a lot of things in people, just by like open up yourself a little bit more. Also, standards is really really important. Don't do weird fucking shit when you're tattooing your client. Don't be like farting and burping and be like just like obnoxious. You know, there's show them respect, and show that they're, when they book the time to get tattooed, show them that your time, their time, is as valuable as yours. Show them that when they have their time, like they are your main focus. There's no time for like friends hanging around the shop like it's fucking kindergarten. And make sure you make them feel that they have your focus and they are the ones that matter. Don't have like a podcast in the middle of your session with friends hanging around. You can hang out with friends after you're done working, but don't conflate those two things, please. Networking. Here's another really a part here that I really, really was heavily invested to in the beginning, and I still am. I still do this all the time. Positioning. Position yourself already at the top, like we spoke about earlier. When you, and also make sure you're at the right place at the right time. Be aware of what's going on in your city, or what's going on in different countries. If you live close to a country that's a huge event or something big is going on, make sure you're gonna be there, and network. Do talk to a lot of people, and also how to open up doors. I mean, that does open up doors as well. When you speak with people and you like like have that, um I spoke about this earlier, where you have to open up doors, and open up doors is mostly about saying the right things at the right time. And that could do a lot of things, you know. I mean, don't be, like I said earlier, don't be obnoxious. Yeah, have some standards. When you go to events and you go to parties, make sure you don't drink as much. Make sure you can communicate with people. Make sure you can um, talk about yourself and represent yourself as an artist. Maybe even do a favor or two for people. Could be whatever. And that is going to open doors, because people can vouch for you, and people can say, oh, I know that guy. He did that for me. He's a really nice guy. He's a really a really respectful guy, and that does fall along with this as well. Communicate with authority. How to leverage social media to tattoo celebrities and dream clients. I mean, every when I started, I did have a lot of dream clients. I now I haven't tattooed Eminem, but Eminem was one of my dream clients I really wanted to have because I was such a huge fan of him when I was younger. I still am, and I didn't think about that I wanted to tattoo celebrities. It just kind of happened because I did put myself out there. But what I did was, like I said earlier, I just constantly put myself out there around those kind of people because those kind of people, they live a really crazy funny lifestyle, and I wanted to enjoy that fun as well by doing my art on those kind of people that made me go there. So that was actually a thing that uh, did a lot of leverage for me. It gave me a lot of leverage because social media was involved too. I did put out a lot of pictures when I was hanging out with people like that, and it did actually get me to where I wanted to go. Tattooing celebrities was something I really found really funny, and I enjoyed it. I did. I got to, or and you're gonna get a lot of, you're gonna see a lot of things you probably wouldn't if you didn't put yourself out there. So and doing those small influences here and there, tattooed them. I did tattoo for free sometimes in order to get what I wanted. I like, oh, I could tattoo this influencer. He's not a big influencer, but I know that next week he's gonna go to an event, and I know there's gonna be other influencers there, and he's gonna be able to vouch for me because I just made him a tattoo for free, right? And that's gonna get you to really want to be, and it's gonna put you in those scenes you want to be at. Guest spotting. This is a really important thing. I said it earlier where I said try to learn from a lot of artists and try to learn as much as you can. Don't be afraid to ask questions and don't be afraid to reach out. And I know, like I said, there's a lot of gatekeepers out there, but it's not going to cost you money or hurt you to try to reach out to some shops or to a lot of shops. I mean, somebody's going to eventually respond to you. And even if you're not a really good tattoo artist, there are some shops out there that are really kind. They will take you in, and when you're at that spot, make sure to be respectful. Make sure if you're gonna go to the store, ask them, "Hey guys, I'm gonna go to the store. You guys need anything?" That's gonna show them that you're respectful, that you're a really kind person, and that you're thinking of others, not only about yourself and you being there. And try to do as much good deeds as you can when you're at these shops to show the artists there that you respect them, you respect them letting you be there, even though like they probably are way better than you at tattooing, and that you're willing to learn from them also. And that's about like that has a lot to do with traveling and learning as well. Observe. Now, a lot of different artists do a lot of different things differently. So make sure you, even though it's not the correct way, it might be the right way for them. There's no right and wrong. Everybody does their own way, their own things, different ways. But the more you observe, the more you're gonna take in, and the more you take in, you're gonna learn from that, and maybe put all those things together and create something out of it from yourself. The more knowledge you have from those things, the further you're gonna get in your tattoo career, because you're gonna be open for criticism. That is a really good thing to be open for criticism. It's really good because if nobody criticizes you, or they're afraid to criticize you, ask people what they really feel and what you can improve. Even if they're not better than you, even if they're not a tattooing, because they might know more than you. It's not everything has not to do with only tattooing. It could be knowledge. There's some kind of people that has a lot of knowledge, but they're not really that good at tattooing. But they can teach you valuable lessons as well. I promise you that. I've seen that happen a lot of times. I'm not ashamed or afraid to ask people that have been tattooing 10 years less than me about advice, or even like some questions that I don't know. I'm not that proud. And don't be too proud. Like make sure you're open for that. Yeah, I mean that is basically it. And here in Calgary, so if you're interested and knowing more about this, and if you feel that you are, if you like, if you fit, if you feel like you fit to my course, like I said here, book a free call with me to see if you're a good fit for my mentorship. The Calendly link will be in the info down there. Thank you so much, guys, for watching my video, and I hope you guys found it interesting. And see you in my mentorship, hopefully. Peace.